Genesis chapter 3. The summary is the first humans give in to temptation and suffer the consequences. Main point number 1. There is an evil being, the serpent, who seeks to tempt and deceive human beings. In the last book of the Bible, Revelation, John calls Satan that ancient serpent who leads the whole world astray in chapter 12, verse 9. So that is helping us remember what happened in the first book of the Bible, the serpent who deceives Adam and Eve. Number 2, the first humans gave in to temptation because they were deceived. Eve listened to the serpent's arguments, which contradicted God's words, and Adam followed her because he was right there with her the whole time. So the first humans were tricked by an evil being, which is called the serpent in Genesis chapter 3. Main point number 3, the first humans gave in to temptation because they were greedy. Genesis 3 says, when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took some of its fruit and ate. Then she gave some to her husband with her, and he ate too. So it looked delicious to her, and it's going to help her, it's going to make her wiser. And so she's reaching for this fruit, which she was forbidden to have because she was greedy. And so was Adam. Both were greedy, and that greed led them to fall for this temptation. Number 4, human sin led to increased pain, shame, separation from God, and death. These are the consequences of their actions, of their rebellion. Number 5, the serpent is doomed to be defeated by one of Eve's male descendants. God told the serpent, "He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel." This is known as the first messianic prophecy in the Bible because it promises that a male descendant of Eve will bruise or crush the serpent's head. There's going to be this rivalry between this hatred, this enmity between Eve's descendants and the serpent, God says. But one of Eve's male descendants, we have that singular male pronoun, he, will bruise your head. One of her descendants is going to defeat the serpent. Number 6, God still cared for the first humans after they sinned. After Adam and Eve ate from the forbidden tree, they became more self-conscious. They realized that they were naked, so they sewed fig leaves together to make coverings for themselves, but their clothing must have been inadequate. Before God drove Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden, he made garments of skin for them and clothed them. Some translations say garments of animal skin, which is a reasonable assumption, but the Hebrew only says skin. So we don't have the details on exactly what happened, but God made clothing that was more adequate for Adam and Eve, clothing that would cover them, that would protect them because they were naked and they realized they were naked. And so God still cared for them before he sent them out of the Garden of Eden. He makes clothes for them. So these are some of the main points of Genesis chapter 3.